Stepney and the Juice Wagons. Stepney, the Bluebell engine, loves working on his branch line. He works closely with his friend Rusty, the diesel engine who saved him from scrap. Stepney often goes to help the Fats controller. He loves working on his railway, but can often run into difficulties of his own. One day the Fats controller came to see Stepney at his shed. "I have an important job for you, Stepney," he said. "I need you to go to the juice factory and help shunt the new wagons that are there." "The juice factory?" wondered Stepney. "I've not heard of that place before." "That's because it is new and has just been opened," explained the Fats controller. "Don't worry, Percy and Fergus will be there to help you." "Yes, sir," smiled Stepney. "Also," finished the Fats controller, "if you do a good job today, you may get to help out with the juice deliveries." Stepney liked the sound of this. "Yes, sir," he puffed. "I'll do my best, sir." Soon Stepney was on his way to the juice factory. He couldn't wait to start work there. "I wonder what's the place will be like," he thought to himself. "It's bound to be a big place." He was thinking about all the new wagons that were going to be there. Soon he arrived at the factory yards where Percy and Fergus were waiting. "Hello, Stepney," whistled Percy happily. "We are glad to see you." "Hello, Percy," peeped Stepney. "And you must be Fergus." "Hello," tooted Fergus. "I've heard a lot about you. You're a really useful engine too." "Thank you," said Stepney. Then he looked at all the juice wagons. He was amazed by what he saw. "Wow," he puffed. "There are lots of different coloured wagons." "That's right," said a voice. It was the yard manager. He came over to see the engines. "Now, these wagons need to be shunted in their proper places," he explained. "So I would like all of you to work hard and make sure you shunt them all into the right sidings." Stepney was a little puzzled. He couldn't understand what he was supposed to do at all. "This job sounds complicated," he said worryingly. "Don't worry, Stepney," smiled Percy. "We'll help you with this job." "You can rely on us, sir," said Fergus to the yard manager. "Good," said the yard manager. "Now, off to work, please." Percy and Fergus whistled and they set off to work. Stepney whistled too, but he didn't sound as confident as he wanted to be. Soon Percy and Fergus worked hard shunting the wagons into the sidings. They shunted them to and fro around the yard. They enjoyed working at the factory yard. They had worked there for a couple of days and were still learning their way around. But Stepney was very puzzled by the wagons that were in front of him. He couldn't think where he had to shunt them. There were dark green wagons on the left siding, pale yellow ones on the centre siding, and dark purple wagons on the right siding. "What am I going to do?" he groaned. "I don't know where to shunt them." The driver and fireman weren't sure what to think either. The yard manager came over to see what was wrong. "Are you all right, Stepney?" he asked. He was very concerned. "I'm stuck, sir," moaned Stepney. "I can't think where to shunt these wagons. I have no idea where to take them to." The yard manager understood what Stepney meant. "Don't worry," he said. "I'll help you out. Listen very carefully." Stepney listened as the yard manager explained to him. "The dark green wagons are for the lime drinks," he said. "The dark purple wagons are for the blackberry juice, and the pale yellow wagons are for the orange juice," finished Stepney. "That's right," smiled the yard manager. "You've got it." He gave Stepney's driver a sheet of paper with a list of wagons that were around the yards. The driver read it long and hard. "Thank you," he said. "We'll try and remember all these." The yard manager told the driver to keep hold of the paper until they learnt where the trucks had to go. Stepney buffered up to the orange juice wagons and slowly moved them out of the siding. "Steady, Stepney," said his driver. "We don't want to damage the wagons." "No, sir," agreed Stepney. "The Fats controller wouldn't like that." Stepney passed Percy and Fergus, who went to collect the other wagons. When they got to the wagons, Fergus made a decision. "I'll take the blackberry wagons and you take the lime wagons," he suggested. Percy thought this was a good idea. Then he got confused when he saw the blackberry wagons. "Shouldn't the blackberry wagons be painted black?" he asked. "Then they would match the colour of the blackberries." "Nonsense, Percy," huffed Fergus. "If they did paint them black, then some engines would confuse them with the tar wagons. Then, if an engine went to resurface the roads," he went on, "and if they had picked up the blackberry wagons, then the roads would be covered in blackberry juice." Percy felt very silly for asking that question. He buffered up to the lime wagons. He waited for Fergus to buffer up to the blackberry wagons. And then while Fergus was being coupled up, Percy set off out of the siding. Soon, the right wagons were shunted into the correct sidings, and the job was done. Stepney was glad, but then he began to feel thirsty. "You need a drink," thought his driver. Then he saw what looked like a hose pipe. Stepney popped up to the hose pipe and stood right beside it. "Right then," said the fireman, "let's give you a drink." So the driver put the hose into Stepney's tank and turned the tap. Stepney felt his drink pour into his tank, but he then started to feel a little strange. "This is funny water," he said to his driver. Suddenly the foreman ran over to them. "Stop!" he shouted. "You can't put that in, Stepney." "Why not?" asked the driver. "Because that's not water," cried the foreman. "That's lemonade." Stepney gasped when he heard this. "Lemonade!" he cried. "Yuck!" His driver quickly turned off the tap and looked into his tank. "You'll be blowing bubbles if this gets into the boiler," he gasped. "We'll have to put your fire out," said the fireman, "and then call for help." Stepney gave a sad sigh as his fire was put out. The Fat Controller was in his office having his cup of tea when he heard the news. "Oh dear," he said. "I'll send Edward to help him." While Stepney waited for Edward to arrive, the men worked quickly to empty the tanks. Buckets were passed backwards and forwards from Stepney's tank to the drain. It took a long while, but by the time they had finished, Edward arrived. He buffered up to Stepney. "Don't worry, Stepney," puffed Edward. "You'll be all right." Stepney just stayed quiet as Edward pulled him away to the workstation. Percy and Fergus were sorry to see him go. Stepney had to stay at the workstation for a long time. It was a hard job to clean his tanks inside out. The workmen worked so hard that the day sky turned into night. Stepney couldn't have felt miserable. "I've let the Fat Controller down," he said sternly. "What will he say now?" Stepney worried all night long. The next morning, Stepney's driver and fireman arrived with the Fat Controller. Stepney felt a little frightened. He was sure the Fat Controller was going to be cross. But the Fat Controller wasn't cross. He was concerned for Stepney. "Stepney, you did very well yesterday," he said, "apart from drinking all that lemonade." Stepney felt embarrassed. "I'm very sorry, sir," he said. "I thought it was a water tower." "It's all right, Stepney," smiled the Fat Controller. "Any of my engines could have made that mistake. It wasn't your fault. You didn't know it was for lemonade." Stepney felt a little less worried. "I know you struggled yesterday to understand the wagons and the sidings," the Fat Controller went on, "so I think you still have a lot to learn about the juice factory. So I have made a decision." Stepney listened carefully. He was sure it was bad news. "I shall put you to work with Percy and Fergus until I am sure you can work there on your own," said the Fat Controller. "Also, I have decided that you can help Percy pull the first train of juice wagons to the school." Stepney was pleased to hear this. He gave a little smile. "You will double header with Percy, and you will learn how to handle juice wagons when making a delivery," the Fat Controller finished. "Thank you, sir," said Stepney. He felt a little better. When the workman had filled up Stepney's tank with water, his fireman lit his fire, and Stepney was wheezing steam and ready to go. "Come on, Stepney," said his driver. "Let's go and find Percy." "Yes, sir," puffed Stepney. Good luck, Stepney, said the Fat Controller. Stepney whistled goodbye and puffed happily out of the workstation. Stepney puffed into the yards where Percy was waiting with the juice trucks. Hello, Stepney, said Percy. I'm glad you're better. I still feel bad about drinking the lemonade, said Stepney. Don't worry, smiled Fergus. It was an accident, but it's all over now, and you can help Percy. Stepney agreed and puffed towards the trucks. As soon as the two engines were coupled up, they set off carefully out of the factory yards. The two engines clattered happily along the track. Stepney felt happier as they puffed on their way. Then they saw a red signal. They had to stop. Gordon, Henry and Murdoch were nearby pulling their trains. They had heard about Stepney's accident. What's this I hear about you, Stepney? Teased Gordon. Drinking lemonade, I see, sniggered Henry. You would be fizzing steam instead of wheezing steam, chuckled Murdoch. Percy was cross, but Stepney didn't mind at all. It's all right, he smiled. The Fat Controller was right. Anybody could have made that mistake. I'm pleased that I learned that sooner rather than later. The engines all agreed with this. When we get to the school, puffed Percy, we'll have a drink to get our breath back. You'll be blowing steam again in no time. Agreed, smiled Stepney. Blowing steam is much better than blowing bubbles. Everyone laughed, and Stepney couldn't have felt happier. Not only had he learnt an important lesson, but he had also learnt to always ask if you are struggling with anything.